An ordinary day in San Juan, Puerto Rico, 1996. Christmas is coming and the city is packed with shoppers. Then, a massive blast rips through the streets, overturning vehicles and causing widespread devastation. The reason is a mystery, but the effects are terrifyingly obvious. 33 people are dead and more than 80 are injured. Now, using advanced computer simulations, we reveal exactly what went wrong and why no one managed to prevent this catastrophic explosion. Behind every disaster lies a chain of critical events that decides who lives and who dies. Unravel the clues and count down those final seconds from disaster. The Caribbean, Puerto Rico, San Juan, Rio Piedras, a suburb in the southeast of the city. Thursday, November 14th. Sarah Ruiz, an employee in a department store on the main street, Jose Diego, smells something bad. She decides to take action and sprays perfume in the air to mask the odor. Next door is the Humberto Vidal shoe store, managed by Arturo O'Neill. He's 35 and well-liked by all his staff, including messenger Jose Antonio Umpierre.
I've known Arturo since he was young, since he was 12 years old. A very well-mannered guy, a good friend.
Arturo goes to the shoe store basement, where he too smells an unpleasant odor. He thinks it might be gas, which seems crazy. For the 8 years the company has been in the building, it's never had a 8:22 a.m. Worried about the smell, Arturo decides to take no chances. He rings the local gas company, San Juan Gas, which is part of the Enron Corporation. An hour and 20 minutes later, a gas technician is in the building. He switches on a state-of-the-art gas sniffer. The gas man, Ramon O'Farrell, knows a gas leak can be very dangerous, and he checks carefully around the basement. The sensor detects no gas at all. Something else must be causing the smell.
The San Juan Gas Company told Arturo that the smell was from the sewers.
Puerto Ricans have been struggling with the country's crumbling infrastructure for years. Basic utilities, such as sewers, are badly in need of repair. 6 days later, Wednesday, November the 20th, 6:45 a.m. Arturo opens up the shoe store, and the mystery odor is still there. Today, it's stronger than ever. Shortly afterwards, Arturo's younger brother Orlando arrives. He's a salesman in another Humberto Vidal store just down the road. The two brothers are very close.
We always had breakfast together, always. We either ate on the way in or took it with us to the store.
But today, Arturo doesn't feel hungry. He's worried about the smell, which seems worse in the early mornings. He asks his brother to check the basement for anything unusual.
I went down the stairs. I couldn't go any further because my eyes misted up. And I came back up.
7:28. Although it makes no sense, Arturo is so concerned, he phones the gas company again. 9 a.m. 90 minutes later, another team from the gas company shows up. This time, their leader is Luis Marquez. Down in the basement, he sniffs the air. He can smell something. There's certainly an odor, but he declares it's not gas. It's the smell of the shoes. Made from plastics and rubber, they're giving off a heady cocktail of pungent fumes. Marquez says it's nothing to worry about. "9:30. Marquez now goes outside. He contacts his base and decides that following standard procedure, he should check the soil under the road for gas. The team drills narrow holes into the ground and inserts a gas-sensing probe. They make 18 holes and detect no gas. 11:45. Satisfied they've done all they can, the brigade's next priority is lunch, back at their base. Back at the shoe store, Arturo is still worried. Everyone who comes seems to have a different theory about what's causing the smell. No one can reassure him over the mystery odor. The longer it persists, the more fearful he becomes that they could be heading for disaster. The investigators discover the pipe was installed in a tight, curving bend, putting it under abnormal strain. Then there's another surprise. Below the pipe, they find a new water main. Batten has a hunch. After the water main was laid down and the earth replaced, that backfill must have settled. Now there would be little to support the plastic pipe above. Already stressed from being bent into a curve, it could take no more. Eventually, the plastic pipe fractured. But Batten still has to discover how gas from the fractured pipe could reach the shoe store. He knows that propane can flow underground, like water. So the team pumped test gases through the leak to see where they end up. As expected, they do travel. Following the path of least resistance, they seep through looser soil around any underground pipes in their path. They migrate downhill around the water main. Batten realizes that some of the leaking propane could then jump across to electric ducting that leads to a meter room in the Humberto Vidal building. At the end of this lies the shoe store basement. Since it's the only basement in the area, it would act like a well, trapping and storing the gas.
And it's a beautiful place for propane to accumulate as it leaked from down the hill.
At last, Batten has a likely mechanism for getting gas into the shoe store basement. But he still has a major problem. If so much gas was leaking into the basement from the ground outside, why did none of the gas company's teams detect it?
So if you get one here, I'll get that one tested on the other side.
The gas company's test holes are still there in the ground. The NTSB rechecks these to see if some terrible mistake was made. The findings are a shocking indictment of the gas technicians. No hole is more than 46 centimeters deep, too shallow to reach the deadly gases migrating below.
Knowing that the gas main was down about 3 to 4 feet deep, we knew that propane being heavier than air, you would not detect it in that bar hole.
The gas company deny the holes are this shallow. Batten interviews the gas brigade technicians about this. They nearly all believe 46 centimeters is the correct depth.
So it was not surprising that they did not find propane gas or any combustible gas around this area.
After this extraordinary finding, Batten wonders what else went wrong. Why, for example, did the sniffer machine not detect any gas in the basement? An interview reveals the reason. To work properly, the sensor must first be switched on outside in uncontaminated air. Only then will it detect propane or any other gas.
They were first opening and operating their equipment once they were in the building, so the fact that their equipment did not show evidence of gas was not surprising.
At last, Batten knows how so much gas could build up undetected. But how did the explosion start? There must have been a spark. They check every light switch and the elevator machinery. No fault is found. The day of the explosion. 1 hour and 45 minutes to go. Arturo O'Neill lets in the air conditioning men. 50 minutes to disaster. Finished with his part of the job, Ibanez Jr. leaves his father in the building. At some unknown time, Ibanez Sr. descends to the basement to work on the air conditioning unit. 2 minutes from disaster. Milagro Saavedra rushes from the shoe store to the 3rd floor. Seconds from disaster. Ibanez Sr. flicks a switch on the air conditioning unit. Near the floor, a spark from the thermostat ignites the propane that has been gathering over recent weeks. It explodes with tremendous force. The release of energy is equivalent to up to 148 kilograms of TNT.